Hello and happy Wednesday from Radically Rational and RadicallyRational.com. It's the morning after the night before. And you know what? You probably wonder what that is because you hear this sound effect on these videos from time to time. That is Frankie eating and drinking. And it's Pavlovian. He takes his cue. He waits until we start this video to start eating and drinking because he wants his presence felt on this video. And because he's a putz, but we love him. Thought I'd explain that. The morning after the night before, in terms of the election, and it's notable because of what didn't happen. We did not see the red wave or tsunami that a lot of people were expecting and predicting. I think that's probably a healthy thing. As we record this, and Frankie finishes eating and drinking, control of both the House and the Senate is still unsettled and undetermined, and looks like it may remain that way for some time. I have modest goals politically right now. All I really want is to excise the landscape of total nut jobs. Kind of hit and miss last night. Looks like Lauren Boebert is gone. Kari Lake was getting her butt kicked and already complaining about the election being rigged. Dr. Oz is out of here. He's following the yellow brick road to nowhere. That's a good thing. Herschel Walker may not make it. On the other hand, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and is she still green? I don't really follow her that much. But she won re-election with over 60% of the vote. All I want is nut jobs to be excised so that we can have rational conversations. My biggest single source of concern is that in many states, 2020 election deniers are winning election to their state's Secretary of State office where they will be in position to do dirty things with elections. That's a real source of concern. Here in Texas, let's get real. There was never a doubt that Greg Abbott was going to be reelected. It's a curiosity, it's a head scratcher because he's totally incompetent. And that's my biggest problem with Greg Abbott. Aside from the fact that he spends all of his time fighting culture wars and dividing people, if you look at his actual track record in office, he is incompetent. But there was never a doubt he was going to get reelected because Texans like culture wars. Now, let's get real about this too, okay? Time for some straight talk about Beto O'Rourke. He is always going to engender a lot of passion among his core followers, but he is never going to cross the threshold needed for election to statewide office. It's just not going to happen. He is a very unpalatable candidate in the eyes of many. Some of it's real and some of it's perception, but it doesn't matter. So Beto, here's the whole deal. It's not going to work out. Don't do this again. Don't put yourself through that again. Don't put us through it again. You're wasting your time. You're wasting ours. Dan Patrick, go explain that. But here's something that's totally inexcusable. How in the hell Texans could return Kenny Boy Paxton to office? That is absolutely shameful. On balance, though, I'm choosing to be optimistic because the nut job quotient shrank a little bit last night. I call that a good start. We are radically rational.